Good morning, children. In previous video, I explained about the two motions of the earth, rotation and revolution, and their effects. Okay, now in this video, I'm going to explain about the varying length of day and night and other topics. So, varying length of day and night means the length of days and nights can be different. The length of days and nights are not same. Sometimes the days are longer than the nights, but sometimes nights are longer than the days. So length of days and nights are not same. What is the main reason? The main reason is due to the inclination of the earth axis. So the earth axis is tilted. What is degree? 23.5 degree from the pole side and 66.5 degree from the ground side. So this is the reason the length of days and nights are different because of the inclination of the earth axis. Clear? Why the length of days and nights are different? The main reason the length of days and nights are different because of the inclination of the earth axis. Inclination means tilted. The earth axis is tilted 23.5 degree from the pole side and 66.5 degree from the ground side. Okay. For example, the train from Kerala to New Delhi, you are going somewhere. Yeah. So sometimes you are feeling the days are longer than the nights. In December, you notice that especially in the winter season, the days are smaller than the nights. And in summer season, the days are longer than the nights. Okay. In the northern hemisphere, what is look at the figure in the given the next page. Okay. The half of the year, the northern hemisphere faces the sun. The equator divides the earth into two equal halves. Above equator, that hemisphere is known as northern hemisphere, and below equator, that hemisphere is known as southern hemisphere. So half of the year, the northern hemisphere faces the sun, while for the next 6 months, the southern hemisphere faces the sun. Clear? Okay. Because of the tilted of the earth axis. So half of the year means 6 months, the northern hemisphere faces the sun, and the next 6 months, southern hemisphere faces the sun. So the larger part of the hemisphere that faces sun gets sunlight. That means that hemisphere facing the sun gets the longer days. So the part of the hemisphere, northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, faces the sun gets longer days and shorter nights. And this phenomenon is more noticeable and the closer that you go to the poles. But in equator, at the equator, the days and nights are equal length. Okay. But near the equator or at the equator, the days and nights are equal length. Okay. So the length of days and nights are different because of the inclination of the earth axis, or half of the part of the earth. Half of the part of the earth means northern hemisphere. 6 months faces to the sun, and the next 6 months southern hemisphere faces to the sun. So which part of the earth? Northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere faces the sun, that part gets longer day and rest, and the nights are shorter. Clear? Okay. Now changing season. The second is the changing season. The changing season means formation of changes. Seasons are formed due to the revolution of the earth. Okay. Seasons are formed due to the revolution of the earth. Okay. Already you know the axis of the earth inclined at the angle of 23.5 degree to its the perpendicular plane. Perpendicular means straight line which intersect to the equator or the pole side. When this tilted in the axis is combined with the revolution of the earth, we get changing season. Okay, because of tilted of the axis of the earth, and we get changing season. The part of the earth, either southern hemisphere or northern hemisphere, faces to the sun, that part experiences hotter than other part of the earth. On 22nd and 24th, between 21st March and, you see this picture, we'll see in the next page. On 21st March and 23rd September. On 21st March and 23rd September, the northern hemisphere is inclined towards the sun. Okay, these 2 days, 21st March, between 21st March and 23rd September, between these months, between 21st March and 23rd September, the northern hemisphere inclined towards the sun, and southern hemisphere turned away from sun. Okay, so between these 21st March and 23rd September experiences little hot, and in southern hemisphere there is cold. Since the north pole is inclined toward the sun, during this period the northern hemisphere has longer days and shorter nights. Okay, because north पोल सन की तरफ झुका होता है, इसी वजह से नॉर्थन हेमिस्फीयर में जो डेज होते हैं वो ज़्यादा बड़े होते हैं. एंड दिस पार्ट ऑफ द अर्थ गेट्स more sunlight, more heat from the sun, and experiences summer during this period. But at the same time, in the southern hemisphere faces away from the sun. Okay, if the northern hemisphere faces to the sun, so southern hemisphere turn away from the sun, and it only gets the slanting rays of the sun. So that has longer nights and the days are shorter, and it is the winter season, as we are also feeling in winter season. Now days are longer than the in winter season nights are longer than the days. Clear? And during this period, the north of the Arctic Circle experiences continuous daylight for a period of 6 months, and condition reverse when the sun is inclined toward the southern hemisphere. So between 21st March and 23rd September, the northern hemisphere inclines towards the sun, and southern hemisphere turn away from it, and these between this period, the northern hemisphere gets the more heat than the southern hemisphere. On 21st June, the sun rays fall vertically on the Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer is the important latitude which passes through the center of India. And this is the northernmost point that vertical rays of the sun can reach. In the northern hemisphere, it is the longest day of the year and it is called summer solstice. Okay, on 21st June, it is between March and September. So on 21st June, the sun rays fall vertically on the Tropic of Cancer, and the northernmost point that the vertical rays of the sun can reach. It is in the northern hemisphere and this is the longest day of the year and it is called summer solstice. On 22nd December, the sun rays fall vertically on the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, 21st June, the sun falls vertically on the Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer is in northern hemisphere and the sun rays fall vertically. Okay, and it is the longest day of the year and it is called summer solstice. So what is summer solstice? Summer solstice means on 21st June, the sun rays fall vertically on the Tropic of Cancer, and Tropic of Cancer is in northern hemisphere and it is the northernmost point of the vertical rays. Northernmost point of the vertical rays of the sun can reach and it is the longest day of the year. It is called summer solstice. Next, on 22nd December, the sun rays fall vertical on Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Capricorn is in southern hemisphere. So it is the southernmost point that the vertical rays of the sun can reach and it is the longest day of the year and it is the longest day of the year, but in the northern hemisphere it is the shortest day of the year and it is called winter solstice. Okay, next, equinoxes. On 21st of March and 23rd September every year, the sun rays fall vertically on the equator. Every year, on 21st March and 23rd September every year, the sun rays fall vertically on the equator. So these days are known as equinoxes. What is equinoxes? On 21st March and 23rd September every year, when the sun rays fall vertically on the equator. So these days are known as equinoxes. The North Pole and the South Pole and the North Pole are neither inclined towards the sun nor they inclined away from it these days. Okay, so on these days the maximum heat and the light is received at the equator. In these 2 days, 21st of March and 23rd of September, these 2 days the equator receive maximum heat and light from the sun. Okay, both hemispheres receive the rays of the sun almost equally. So in these days both hemispheres receive the sun rays equally. So therefore the length of days and nights are equal all over the world in these 2 days. these 2 days. Which 2 days? 21st of March and 23rd September. These 2 days, the length of days and nights are equal all over the world. And March 21st is known as the vernal or spring equinox, and September 23rd is known as the autumnal equinoxes. Now, 4 seasons. The different position of the earth during its revolution around the sun are responsible for the season. Okay, the different position of the earth during the revolution. How the seasons are formed? Seasons are formed due to the revolution of the earth. Okay. In the northern hemisphere, the season follow the pattern of spring, beginning in the March, and summer in the June, autumn in September, and winter in December. Okay, this is the pattern. The season begins in March. Spring season begins in March, summer season in month of June, and autumn season in month of September, and winter season is in month of December. But it is the pattern of northern hemisphere. This is the pattern of season following in the northern hemisphere. Okay, in the month of March, it is the beginning of spring season. In month of June, summer season. Month of September, autumn season, and month of December, winter season. This is the pattern, season by season, which are following in the northern hemisphere. Now, in the southern hemisphere, the pattern is reversed. Okay. So, with the autumn season begins in March, winter in June, spring in September, and summer in December. Okay. In the southern hemisphere, the pattern, season pattern is reversed. Reverse means just opposite. And it is begin with the autumn season. Autumn season is in month of March. Winter season is month of June. And spring season in month of September. And summer season in month of December. But in the northern hemisphere, spring begins in month of March, and here autumn season begins in month of March, and here summer, month of June there is summer season, but here in month of June there is winter season, and spring season in month of September, but here autumn in month of September, and in month of December in the northern hemisphere there is winter season, but in southern hemisphere it is in the summer season. Okay. What is the effect? Now, what is leap year? What is leap year? Already you know, the earth complete one revolution in 365 1/4 days. The earth takes 365 1/4 days to complete one revolution around the sun. For our convenience, we take only 365 days as a calendar. Which we are using or following. In that calendar, only 365 days are included. Now we are leaving 1/4 days. So 1/4 days means 6 hours. 1/4 days means 6 hours, and that 6 hour left it, that are added. 6 into 4 is equal to 24 hours, and 24 hours is equal to 1 day. Clear? 1/4 day is equal to 6 hours. So 1/4, 6 hours in first year, 6 hours in second year, 6 hours in third year, and 6 hours in fourth year. Like this we are adding, and this 1 day, we are 24 hours is equal to 1 day, and that 1 day we added in the month of February every 4th year, not every year. Every 4th year we are adding this month of February. And this year, and such year has 366 days, and that year is called leap year. Okay, what is leap year? The year in which 365 days are in month of February, that year is called leap year, है ना? And this every leap year has one extra day. And how we know that year is a leap year? So whatever year is given, then we have to divide it by 4. Suppose 2020, now this is 2020, this 2020 is exactly divided by 4. So this year 2020 is the leap year. Okay, and centenary years are leap year only if they are divisible by 400. Thus the year 1900 was not a leap year, so it is divisible by 4. Now this glossary, here is given the glossary. Orbit, the path of earth revolution around the sun. Perihelion, a point of the orbit of the earth where it is the nearest to the sun. Aphelion, the point in the orbit of the earth where it is farthest to the sun. Solstice, the time when the sun is directly above the Tropic of Capricorn or Tropic of Cancer. Equinox, the time when the sun is directly above the equator. And season, the 4 period in which year is divided by the solstice or equinoxes, spring, summer, autumn and winter. And the leap year, a year with 366 days. Okay, so you read the chapter, learn this glossary. This is the homework. Thank you.